And good morning. It's your favorite friendly neighborhood Tironan, and today we're going to be reviewing the Yak 3. And this aircraft, as it sits right now, is the pretty much the unupgraded version. The two upgrades that you see here come over from the last aircraft, and these four are what you're looking for. By the time you get this, which will give you, and you can see the add-ons there. This makes it an extremely maneuverable aircraft, and I think it comes in right about number 2 in the turn and burn fighters for maneuverability. And then you add this, you're talking, okay speed. Comes in right at the KI-84 levels of speed. 670, which in the maps you're going to face is slow. And why do I say that? Well, you have aircraft that are going to be pushing 800 kilometers on alpine maps. Firepower is okay. At this level, mediocre. Again, you look at that in a Tier 6 aircraft, and it'd be just fine. But you start talking Tier 7, and with the upgrade of the guns to the full level, then you're going to be talking about, just about that's pretty good. And let's talk about ranges. Because that's, I'm finding this awfully important too. You're going to come in right about 2150 feet. Again, when you jump up to the 23, you'll get up to 24, 25 in range. Range can be awfully important. As you saw in the Corsair video, the F4U-4, its ability to just reach out way out there and pick aircraft off. This is something you should be able to do in this Yak. Historically, the Yak came in about 1944, and it was a rationalization and redesign of the Yak 1. Again, low altitude turn and burn. A fighter with substantially more firepower. You notice its altitude performance on a Tier 7 map is going to bring you in as a low altitude fighter. Probably can get up to 45 or so before it really starts dogging out. And so this is the introduction to the Yak 3. Turn and burn fighters have more difficulty on Tier 7 maps in general because a lot of the combat's taking place at high altitude. And quite frankly, a lot of boom and zoom fighters are out there looking for turn and burn fighters to make a pass at. That presents a lot of challenge. We're going to go ahead and give this a try, see how we do. As always, all my videos are direct captures. I don't do replays because you lose too much information. I don't want to give you the best video I know how to make. So we'll take a look, see how we do with this aircraft. Sometimes I make a complete idiot of myself. Again, I don't try to present myself as Mr. Uber Pilot. I go at this as Joe Everyman. What you can expect from the aircraft as for the first time. That's why I show it as quite often show an aircraft as a essentially unupgraded aircraft. And you can't get to the Yak 3 without going through the Yak 1M. So the upgrades you saw are the upgrades you get as you advance through the ranks of this. So let's see what map we get. That will tell us something of what we can expect. And that's an interesting map for this. There's some high altitude in this as well, but we're going to be in primarily a tier 6 match. Alright. Looks like we can grab the command center real quick there. Take it from there. Now, I have no experience with this aircraft. You're seeing this. I've played this exactly once for a few minutes and then went on to something else, so I don't really know what to expect from this. Me and my friend Dave from down under were having a rocking good time playing a little bit of everything, so my memory just I didn't form a real impression of the aircraft is what I'm trying to say. So all we're trying to do here is clear out the defense fighters as quickly as you can. Again, get your impression as well as mine. And I see the anti-aircraft has come to love me. And as you come to expect from Yak fighters, this thing is very maneuverable. What you don't expect from Yak fighters is to knock things down very quickly, which it just did. Now again, you're working against tier 5 aircraft, really. So, don't want to overplay this, don't want to set expectations beyond what it is. Not a... if I took a tier 7 against a tier 5 aircraft, I'd expect to win, and we promptly did. Alright, we're going to go over and see if we can help out with the airfield over here. Let's see, they haven't captured it yet. And I very much want to capture that airfield, get the point lead, and see where we end up at. There we go. And it looks like we're going to be scrambling around trying to take this from the Reds. This is always kind of nerve-wracking because you thoroughly expect to get jumped from an angle you don't expect. And I don't expect this to be much of a climber, but we'll see what we can get. And sure enough, it's not. Barely got to 2,000 feet, and whatever. That's usually something I see on my site, is all the fighters after the bombers. Very strange. Especially since the bombers are already well under attack. P-38J, the aircraft you never want to be in front of. Because it has lots and lots of firepower and will light you up like a Christmas tree. Here's an IL-2, and the weirdest thing is he is way high. That's not where I'd expect to see an IL-2. Running into an IL-2, by the way, is a very quick way to end your aircraft, since it's essentially a flying tank with wings on it. And then I went and did it. Well, with that clever demonstration, you understand why you never ever ram a IL-2. Well, I'm sure I got some hit points on him. That was an exercise in futility. Lost, busy looking behind me because I was sure that I was going to have an enemy aircraft there any second, and you see the result. Learn from my mistakes, people. There's no reason whatsoever to do that. And I don't believe in hiding my mistakes. Give you a chance to learn from them and take it from there. All right, we're going to try to get some boost back in the meantime since I cleverly ran my boost out. This is a game we have well in hand. There's an A-26 up there in this particular fighter trying to run up to his altitude. Makes no sense whatsoever. Can't do it. Not going to try. Oh, I do wonder, okay, another A-26, pair of them. There's not a whole lot of interest in playing that. We do have quite a few aircraft over here, and I need to be paying attention to them. I see the real threat to me is that P-51, not the IL-2s. I'll take care of that and come down and deal with the IL-2T, and hopefully this time with a little more success. As they are slow aircraft, by the way. So turn off, turn around, rinse and repeat as necessary. Done and done. All right, firepower on this, provided that you use good, I'm under AA fire and there's nothing I can add at this level, so we're going to get out of here. And it get out in time. Alright. It popped aircraft behind me. Not much I could do on that one. Enemy high altitude bombers got me on that one. Since we have 3 capture points and they have 2, and now they have 2 each, but I don't really think that's going to make a whole heck of a lot of difference. All right, so we had some success there. What do I think of the aircraft? At this map is going to have a great deal of success. To me, the real proof is going to be at the next tier, where everything gets much, much tougher. That being said, the 3 20mm guns are going to be effective, and they are all hitting at about the same range. With the particular upgrades I have there, when one cannon is in range, they're all in range. So it's not a matter of you're hitting with a third of your weaponry, which are, in the case of a P-38, and you have the 20mm cannon, you can be hitting with a fifth of your weaponry. Here, with this particular level of upgrade, when it's on, all 3 of your 20mm are going to reach. When you upgrade to your 23 millimeters, you're going to see about 300 yards worth of difference. But you still are going to hit with 2/3 of your armory, and that's your heavier hitting guns too. All right, so we killed 7, assisted with 2, and got 2 capture points out of that. About a middle in reward. And you'll see that the guy paying the P39 did a better job than I did. So, no bragging. Okay. Very turny fighter, capable of hanging with the Japanese fighters. Not high altitude. It's like a slightly lower altitude KI-84 in the way it feels. But it doesn't have KI-84 types of firepower in it. Again, when you start talking at Tier 7, you start looking at aircraft that, and let's just bring up some. Now, mind you, these are fully upgraded. You're going to remember this is going to come in right around 670. All right, let's look at its stablemate. You're talking 433 here, fully upgraded. You'd be talking about 360. When you start talking the BF-109, that's more interesting comparison, where you're giving up about 50, 60 kilometers per hour to the BF-109. I'm going to tell you right now, your gun armament is going to be superior to it, though, because of that 30 millimeter motor cannon is slow firing. It's not as good a dogfighting weapon. When it does hit, it will just, you see some damage, and then all of a sudden the aircraft blows up when one of those giant 30 millimeter shells hits your opponent. But it's not a great dogfighting armament. When you compare this to a KI 84, you know, some gun armament, you're going to be way behind. Speed is going to be about the same, and you're going to have about 50 points of maneuverability over the KI-84. Rapu, again, you're giving up large amounts of armament. You're going to actually be superior in airspeed, and you're going to be neck and neck in maneuverability. I'm sorry, 20, 30 points is not going to make a whole lot of difference when you're talking the 1100 range, which you're both going to be in. And the Spitfire. The Spitfire's armament, and this is very effective, and you're going to, in that way, you two are going to be in a fairly even match. You're going to have a little maneuverability edge, not very much. You're going to take a lot of turns to get on his tail. And at the tier you two would be meeting at, you can just about count that one side or the other is going to have a boom and zoom that's going to take one or the other of you out while you have fun turning and burning with one another. Again, another aircraft that you'll be contending with constantly, the P-51D. You'll have a range advantage on him. He's going to have a speed advantage and an altitude advantage. If he dogfights with you, you're going to eat his lunch. Gun armament, you've got a range advantage there. Not so much firepower as a range advantage. And why do you say that? Well, it comes down to this. The machine guns on this don't really overheat. So if he gets on your tail and is making a pass at you, he's going to start, I refer to this as the buzzsaw. Essentially, it nibbles you to death very quickly, and you can just watch health bars disappear. But she's given up about 400 feet of range to you, and you can use that to your advantage. However, you're never going to catch him. So you have to keep your eyes open when he's making a pass. So there is, in a nutshell, your Yak 3. I think this will be a very successful aircraft because of the armament and because of the turning capability. I do think you're going to have your hands full dealing with aircraft that are 100 kilometers an hour faster than you are at the minimum. You're going to take this in and you're going to run across some aircraft that are Tier 8 that will show up and they will be pressing 800 kilometers an hour. Think about that for a while. And everything's got lots of power. Then you have, you're going to be coming in there with about 280 in hit points. And 280 to 300 for the pure fighters is about where you need to be. Do want to thank you for your time. I surely hope that you enjoy this video. I am going to get this one in the can. Please remember to like the video, and I need all the subscribers I can get. I'm a new content provider, and it allows me to do a lot of special things when I get to enough subscribers. So I'm begging for your help. Appreciate you, and you have a great day.